Hey there, so welcome to a new video for Star Wars Talk for specifically a Star Wars series. So in this video and hopefully sequel videos, I will be critiquing top 10 series videos for Star Wars out on YouTube. So this video was inspired by a video by the YouTuber Seamus Goldman. He does a lot of Pixar and some Harry Potter stuff. Specifically, a Harry Potter video by him inspired me to create this one. In order to make my video distinct from his, I am following a rubric as I want to be a teacher, and a rubric's a good thing. So basically, my rubric is 4 points. 4 categories, 5 points for each series, 50 points for the video. I'm basically asking, is it actually a series? Do they provide at least 2 pieces of evidence? 1 point for the first 2 pieces of evidence. Are they convincing and are they credible? Meaning, do they acknowledge their sources? So I follow that rubric and I give them a letter grade at the end. So all you need to do for this is to go into YouTube, the search bar, and type in top 10 blank series. For me, this is the top 10 Star Wars series that I'll be critiquing. And when it comes up, just click on the first one, or maybe in the first one, maybe one of the other ones. Just vary it up a little bit, and then you just get in the video and you critique it. Or at least I'm going to be critiquing it this time. But you can do this on your own as well for any video. So, the video that I am doing is a video by Screen Rant entitled 10 New Star Wars Series That Actually Make Sense. I will be linking that video in the description so you can watch it in full detail because I don't need to show all of it. I'm just going to be explaining my points for it. Well, now that I got that out of the way, let us begin.
Why stormtroopers have bad aim.
For this series, they acknowledge that it is a series, so I wish for the entry title they had mentioned the series better there, but besides the point. Now, they only had one major piece of evidence, so they don't get the full 2 points for the evidence category, but the one piece of evidence is very strong, that being how it is clearly established that the Force protected should in Rogue One from the Death Troopers' blaster fire. That is very convincing. So they get the point for convincing. So that's 3 points for the first category. So good job, Screen Rant, on this one. But you should have also added some credibility by acknowledging your sources, especially if they're not original, and you should mention if they are original series.
Obi-Wan did recognize the droids.
Like the first one, I actually particularly enjoy this series myself. The first one, they do acknowledge that it is a series. They provide 2 pieces of evidence. One, that Obi-Wan says owning a droid, not interacting with the droid. And also that Obi-Wan knows R2-D2's abilities. That's why I find it convincing, I think. They provide some good, solid evidence and makes logical sense. But again, no sources, so no credibility points.
Kylo Ren lives in Darth Vader's lava castle.
Now this theory, while they acknowledge the theory, the only piece of evidence that is valid and proper in my opinion is that Kylo Ren idolizes his grandfather Darth Vader. The other piece of evidence is very flimsy. His suit's style, that's not qualifying evidence, only one evidence point. And it's just not convincing by calling it Lava Castle. It's Darth Vader's Mustafar Castle, not his Lava Castle. And again, acknowledging no sources, so no point sale.
Rey is a Kenobi.
Again, for this series, they acknowledge that it is a series. Clearly, they also present multiple pieces of good evidence, including Rey's Force vision, the fact that she speaks in a British accent. I do find their piece of evidence about clothing styles to be a bit more flimsy and all that, but overall I do find the evidence to be solid, but unfortunately I don't find it to be super convincing. Again, there's no mention of sources, so they lose out on credibility. They could have sold this series a lot better, but if you watch the last line of it, that just destroys the convincibility of it, and I really wish they hadn't said that. They could have actually made it work out if they added a few more pieces of evidence, but they didn't. They could have overcome that, but They could have done a better job is what I'm trying to say. Definitely on this one. So let's move on to the next one now.
Rey is a solo.
Now this theory, again, they acknowledge this theory, so there's a point there, but they only have, in my opinion, one solid piece of evidence. That being the quick relationship, the father-daughter relationship that develops between Han and Rey. That is actually, in my opinion, some very good, strong evidence. Unfortunately, the other piece of evidence, Rey's flying abilities, does not prove that she's a solo. That could mean she's a Skywalker, could mean she's related to Wedge Antilles. She could be related to any good pilot. That's not good evidence, and I know they specify from Millennium Falcon, but Lando through the Millennium Falcon. But that's kind of a side rant there about that very flimsy evidence. But again, not convincing at all, their delivery, and no credibility as they don't acknowledge any sources.
Rey is a Palpatine.
Now this theory is an out there theory and I don't hold any stock into it, but they do acknowledge that it is a theory and they actually provide 3 pieces of evidence, one of which is a bit more sloppy, that being Rey's fighting style, but the other 2 are very well done. And they said that someone did some very good research for this theory, but they don't acknowledge who did that research, so no credibility points there, and convincing points, I'm not convinced, so no points for that area. So they could have done it a little better, and I would say they could have made it a bit more convincing, but a few things here and there just destroyed it.
Vader isn't 100% evil until after A New Hope.
For this series, they again acknowledge that it is a theory, though the only, in my opinion, solid piece of evidence is that Vader didn't find out about Luke being his son and his son being alive until after A New Hope. So that's his only thing? No. And we have lots of canon, both canon and legends, examples of Darth Vader being fully evil before A New Hope. And that Rogue One scene that they even showed in here shows that he's evil. Just brutally wiping them out. Yeah, not much other evidence that they try to give doesn't quite work out. Convincing, I was not convinced. And credibility, again, no sources mentioned. So, no external sources mentioned, so no credibility there.
Darth Plagueis is Snoke.
Now, this is one of the most common Snoke theories out there, and they acknowledge that it is a theory, but they mention no sources, so no credibility. I was not convinced by their explanation, and their only piece of evidence is super flimsy, so I'm going to debunk them right now. Their main piece of evidence that Darth Plagueis discovered the secret to extending life, but let's remember, Palpatine said this: he could save others from death, but not himself. So, Palpatine killed Plagueis. Darth Sidious, who is Palpatine, killed Plagueis. We know Plagueis is dead. It said so, and we were told that he could not save himself. Hence, he can't be Snoke. Simple. Easy. Debunked. I don't know why it gained so much traction earlier. I'm glad it has died down. Hopefully I didn't bring it out again, but yeah, it's a theory and it needs to be debunked because it's so easy to debunk. Especially their version. Now that I've kind of ranted a bit, let's ease up a little bit, go to another Snoke theory.
Boba Fett is Snoke. So
they acknowledge this is a theory, and somehow they actually have some pretty good evidence. One, Snoke's disfigurement, if he is Boba Fett, is because of digestion in the Sarlacc pit. That is actually a pretty good piece of evidence. And then Boba Fett wanting revenge against Solo and Solo's family makes lots good sense. So they're good pieces of evidence, but their delivery unfortunately did not convince me. Mainly because Snoke uses the Force. Even before The Last Jedi, we knew Snoke was a Force user. Boba Fett does not have the Force. So, that's why it did not convince me, and no credibility again because no sources.
Jar Jar Binks is a Sith Lord.
So this is a series that I find compelling, so they acknowledge that it is a series, so that's a good thing. They have good evidence. They talk about how Jar Jar Binks is somehow displaying a certain form of martial arts that looks clumsy but is actually quite effective, which is the closest thing they've gotten to an actual source. But again, no sources, so no credibility. But continue talking about evidence. They talk about how when important things are happening, that Jar Jar Binks is making a gesture like a mind trick to influence people to make certain decisions. So again, that's pretty good. And also how he seems awful like lucky, and Obi-Wan says there's no such thing as luck. So that is, in my opinion, some pretty good evidence, and I do find it convincing. So this one has 4 points. So that is pretty good. It's one of 2 series on here that actually got 4 points. So it's the second, so it's tied for the highest point. So that is in my opinion, a pretty good series. So now that I've gone through them, let's recap the scores for them. The first series got 3 points, the second got 4 points, the third got 2 points, the fourth got 3 points, the fifth got 2 points, the sixth got 3 points, the seventh got 2 points, the eighth got 1 point, the ninth got 3 points, and the 10th got 4 points. For a total of 27 points, in other words, an F. They could have improved the score by maybe better evidence or better convincing, but mainly sources. If they had established their credibility better by acknowledging their sources, saying who did it, where they got it from, that would have just improved them so much that would have gained them 10 more points, which would have been a C. But unfortunately they did not. Well, anyhow, thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of this type of video? Would you like to see more of them in the future? Also consider subscribing to my channel for future Star Wars content, and ring the bell to be notified when that content comes out. Also consider supporting me on Patreon. For as little as $1 per month, you get to help support my channel, and you get extra goodies such as sneak peeks of upcoming videos, the occasional bonus video, and also commentaries on my videos. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and as always, have a good day or good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.